What it do, what it does, what it is, what it was. I'm Robert Edward Patterson the second, also known as Bobby Pats, sometimes known as Mr. P.
And I'm Adrian Black, and this is the Pass the Bag podcast.
It's not enough just to get the bag.
You got to know how to keep that bag.
If you want to secure that bag,
you got to share
that bag.
Now, kindly pass the bag.
Don't mind if I do, sir. Pinky up.
So, we back.
Back.
We was gone for a while.
Back like we never
Been
left.
a long time.
Let's do this, baby.
Shouldn't have left you. Was on a little hiatus / vacation.
You gotta have that break.
Gotta break and recuperate.
Well earned.
But you gotta find us. You gotta find us because we've been looking for you.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta find us on Patreon at
We Are Miva.
You can find us on YouTube at
We Are Miva.
You can find us at Twitter
We
at
Are Miva.
on Facebook at
Guess what? We Are Miva.
and on IG at
We Are Miva.
exactly. And I'm live on IG right now. What's up, IG?
What up,
But
IG?
we killing it.
Izzle jizzle.
And I'm just so excited to be back, man. We got a new studio space. Want to say a big thank you to
Absolutely.
the beautiful, the wonderful, the talented, the amazing Alex. You know what I'm saying? She's going to link her IG right here. Follow her on IG. She'll link it right here. And so follow her. She's great. Can't wait to see the Supergirl video. Shouts to Alex.
Yeah,
Indeed.
all of y'all. Keep an eye out for the Supergirl.
So
video.
Alex is a wonderful lady, but this our first topic for today is not a wonderful lady. She's what we call the bag lady. Bag lady.
In the worst way.
In the worst way. So a woman in Shanghai, she choked out a volunteer after being asked to sort her garbage.
What did she do?
She choked her out, man. She choked out a volunteer. This 33-year-old woman, she choked out a 55-year-old volunteer who asked her to please sort her garbage.
This is incredible. This is the truth is stranger than fiction moment. This
Facts.
is incredible.
Right.
You want to talk about a lack of coping mechanisms. You want to talk about when things get uncomfortable and you can't handle it and you just lose it.
Right.
For those of you who are listening at home, if anyone asks you to do anything, clean your room, turn down your music, and you're choking them out,
Right.
you might be a bag lady.
Right. You might need counseling.
You might need some serious psychological healing that needs to take place. Just stop everything that you're doing. Move to the top of a mountain. Go to a isolated island and don't come down. Don't come back. Don't rejoin society until you're not that person.
So let's give it a little context though. So the garbage situation in China has been, just throw things wherever you want because they create jobs.
Open air defecation, all types of stuff.
They create jobs for people being able to clean up,
Right.
and so, but now they're trying to improve the images of the cities, trying to improve their recycling policies, trying to become more green, and in doing that, they want everybody to do their part.
That's right.
So lately, over the past year, they've been asking people like sort your garbage, put the stuff where it's supposed to be. It's pretty simple. Right. But
which, for a place like China, the enormous carbon footprint that China is throwing down, right? And all of that sort of transitioning into being a first world country.
Right.
Right. We think about all of that, like big garbage just floating in the ocean. Shout out to all the whales and all the dolphins,
We love the whales and dolphins.
Daily,
here at
however
Pass the
many
Bag.
tons that's going into the ocean, coming out of China. That's a major step right there.
Right.
So
So it's a step in the right direction, and they have volunteers on staff, people that are like, all right. So instead of just like asking people to solve the problem, no, they throw people at the problem. That's one of the things they do here for like problem solving. They throw as many people at it as they can. So they got volunteers.
human resources are in full effect around these parts.
So they got a volunteer. They got this lady to just like say, hey, why don't you sort out your garbage? But I guess the other young lady was not having it. She was not having it. So is it that serious though? Is it ever that serious where you need to like, physically harm somebody?
I mean, it's not like when a promoter tries to rob you and you slap him up. This is different.
Nah.
Yeah, this is absolutely different.
Totally
This is
different.
a situation where, there's some discomfort that comes with breaking out of old societal dogma. People who have been raised to a certain age to do things a certain way and feel uncomfortable, and they're not having conversations about a lot of things, let alone having conversations about how, the times make the man or the woman. And when the times start to change, being able to adapt so that you don't go extinct.
Right.
So that you don't endanger, your family first. Families make up communities. Communities make up society.
Right. And adapting, you on that topic of adapting, one of the ways that people have adapted to these policies is that some people are even using like drones to take out their garbage.
Speak on this. Now, this reminds me of a situation in Detroit, which if you know anything about Detroit.
Tell us about Detroit.
Well, number one, big shout out to Detroit, born in Flint, made in Detroit. This is how it would go down. People would come from the outlier areas that might be border the city, and they would come and dump their garbage, right, in Detroit. So, somebody might take a truck, pickup truck, or somebody might actually take like a full-blown like waste management truck and drive it to some area like in Detroit, and then like dump in Detroit, and then go back to where it is that they were coming from, right?
So when you say dump in Detroit, you mean like dump in Detroit, like garbage, or just dump in like a lot?
No, I mean like they would find an empty lot and dump in an empty lot, or find an alley or something like that, right?
Wow.
So this is not, only a Shanghai type of situation.
No.
It's the type of situation that we see shows up, across the board in terms of waste management responsibility.
Right.
People taking care of the community.
Right.
Or people wanting to take shortcuts.
Right.
Neglecting their obligation to, when things are changing up, to change up the game.
And speaking of changing up the game, I want to give a big shout out to my homie at B Greeny, Mr. Dave, because he's taking waste management to the next level.
B Greeny,
B Greeny, check them out on Indiegogo.
Get in while you can still fit in.
Get in while you can fit in.
You get locked
they
out
just
of that
went
one,
live
boy, you
on
gonna be kicking yourself.
just went live on Indiegogo. So support them because they're doing a lot of beautiful things for the environment.
Absolutely, helping
and
keep,
trying to
keep the earth green.
Make Earth green again.
That's right.
Bag of gold or a bag of ish? I don't know. There's a guy that he was getting himself hype. He was getting himself real hype all day.
How hype was he getting himself?
He's on Weibo. He's like, my wife, he's in the car. Speaking of, don't drive while texting, number one. But he's like on Weibo. Weibo is Chinese Twitter. And he's getting himself hype. He's like, my wife doesn't know what I'm about to do. My wife has no idea. Problem number one.
Number one, when
If
your
your wife
wife doesn't know what you're up to,
you already losing.
you're taking the L that you
losing.
don't need to take.
You already losing.
Don't set your wife up for L's that she don't have to take.
Exactly.
Ever.
So later on that day, he's still on Weibo. He posts a picture of a water bottle. He's like, I'm about to do it. I'm about to do it.
This is like suspense 101 right here. We got to use that method. The Twitter, the IG, like,
Right.
Y'all don't know what we about to do.
We about to do it. So this is a guy that dumped water on the CEO of Baidu during a live event. He took his water, he walked up on the stage with his water bottle out and just.
Which for people who might be in places where you don't know what Baidu is, Baidu, that's like the equivalent of walking up on Jeff Bezos or,
Right.
rest in peace Steve Jobs,
Right.
in the middle of an event and dumping water on his head.
Dumping water on his head.
Yeah.
So afterwards, he got tackled. Which, as soon as he made his way off stage, he was tackled. And then, so the CEO looks up at him and he's like, "What's your problem?" And so he's giving a presentation in Chinese, but he responds in
Sure.
English like,
Sure.
"What's your problem?" Like, I mean, he was real chill about it. So I guess my question is, how would you even react? You up on stage, we passing the bag. Right now, if Alex comes over here and she dumps some water on your head, what you gonna do about it?
Alex dumped water on my head. I'm probably gonna feel happy just because we're gonna be like having a water party or something. But
Facts.
if it's somebody else, a stranger, by the time I reach the Baidu level, you can take the neighborhood out of the people out the neighborhood, but you can't take the neighborhood out the people. But I will resist my temptation to get real neighborhood on somebody and go upside their head.
I like how you said that. Get real neighborhood.
No, yeah, thank you.
Hashtag get real
Hashtag
neighborhood.
get real neighborhood. I'll resist my temptation to get real neighborhood because I will understand that as my responsibilities have increased, so then with the likelihood that if I go at this guy, then he might try to take some legal stance and say that I overreacted. But that's why we employ people.
Right.
You know, I probably would just do the same thing. I would ask him what is his problem. As security, goes ahead and storms him out.
So you think it was fugazi? You think this was real?
That's a great question.
That's
Publicity is the thing.
Publicity is the thing. Like we wouldn't even be talking about it.
Yeah.
If he never dumps water on his head, right?
Misinformation and disinformation. I'm gonna say it's real.
Okay.
I'm gonna say it's real.
All right.
Because I feel like if it wasn't real, then it wouldn't be families involved.
Right.
From the very moment that my man is on Weibo early talking about how his wife don't know what he about to do,
right,
and all the rest of that, I feel like for somebody who's gonna do some empire actor type stuff,
right,
they're not gonna go that thorough with it.
Really?
Yeah, that's how I feel.
I don't know. I feel like you gotta go thorough with it.
Like you're gonna have a family involved.
If you're gonna go like that, you gotta go thorough with it.
So here's my challenge.
Yeah.
When was the last time that somebody went fugazi with something like this, but then had that kind of element to it, that kind of organic family element to it? Like, yeah.
I can't think of something right now.
See, most of the time they got that lone wolf type ish going on when it be false flagging.
Right.
But when somebody got their family involved in it, like I'm thinking about my wife. Like I know what I'm about to do.
Yeah, but if the bag is big enough, the wife's in on it, right? Like imagine you got $10,000 to do that, right?
All right.
Wifey gets a new bag.
All right.
Wifey gets her hair and nails done.
Yeah, maybe.
Wifey gets a new MacBook. I don't know, whatever wifey wants.
Well, I mean, is this where we taking it to though? Is this the level where it's like, okay, what we want to do right now? We need some public disturbances so that we can do.
I mean, the promotion alone from it. I mean, how many people probably reposted this article?
Hits, yeah.
Them hits, and
oh man.
I mean, there's a lot of people just who maybe not in America or in the West, in the States or in the West in general. Shout out to the West. That had no idea what Baidu was until we brought it up just now. So
well, in a time like this with certain little trade wars, all the rest of that kind of stuff. Shout out to everybody out there who's betting on the short. If you're betting on the short right now, some of you investors know what it is I'm talking about. Buy low, sell high. Shout out to y'all. But I think that if it is fugazi, it's brilliant. I'm not the type of person to hate on something like that.
Nah, we don't hate
think
here.
About that first.
We don't hate here at Pass the Bag. We ain't got no time for hate. We ain't got no room for it.
That's like that. Like later on, we can stage a fake beef.
Yeah.
I mean, if that wasn't so 20 years ago, that might be something that get us a little bit of shine. They'd be like, oh, did you hear what Black and Bobby's up to?
Right. They hate each other
right now.
They hate each other right now.
What are we gonna beef over?
I don't know. So speaking of beef, though. Since you brought it up, who are some people, maybe 5 people, we can come up with our top 5 people right now that we want to dump water on. In the middle of a speech, a presentation.
Top 5 people that I would dump water on in the middle of a presentation.
And we have nothing but love and respect for all human beings, but
sometimes you want to dump water on people.
Sometimes you just want to dump water on people.
And
I'm going Donald Trump, number 1.
Okay.
Top of the list.
Go for it.
I'm going DT.
All right.
45.
All right.
Top of the list.
All right.
Who else?
I mean, see, I felt like that was too obvious. Like I was looking for like a judge, something like Clarence Thomas.
Yeah. He's on the list.
Something like that. You know what I mean?
That's a good one.
Like give me one of these like clown somebody who's supposed to be, somebody who's just like way lost it.
Yeah,
somebody who really lost their way. I'm gonna dump the water on them so we can wash away their sins.
That's great. I'm going Bill O'Reilly. That's also obvious. I guess I'm going real obvious.
No. It's cool. You got to do how you do.
All right. I'm going Bill O'Reilly.
If I got to go with one other person that I'm gonna dump water on, I'm gonna dump water on what's my man's name? Harvey. I ain't gonna say his last name because I don't even want to give him that kind of publicity. But
not Steve Harvey.
No, Big Creepy Harvey.
Oh, okay.
Big Creepy Harvey, who used to be the executive of a certain company.
Yeah, I got you.
Probably was running a real nasty casting couch.
Yeah.
A serial rapist.
Somebody that I admire.
Mossad hiring.
I admire, but also have some real not love for sometimes.
Break it down.
I'm dumping water. I'm dumping water on Skip Bayless, man.
Yeah, do that.
I've never worn those Skip Bayless.
Big shout out to Skip Bayless.
Shout out to Shannon Sharp and Skip Bayless, man.
Skip Bayless, he want to be.
I got love for Skip Bayless.
Kysell so bad, don't he?
I got love for Skip Bayless, but I'm dumping water on him sometimes.
Oh, I want to also offer an apology to all the Scandinavian countries because a couple of podcasts back, it came out of my mouth, quote, Norwegian countries, end quote. And I meant to say Scandinavian countries. So
yeah.
I had to go ahead.
Walk that back.
Recant that statement.
Walk that back.
Yeah.
Walk that back.
Yeah, we got to walk that back.
For sure. So we got nothing but love for all the countries, whether you're Norwegian or you're Scandinavian.
Yeah, that's right.
We got nothing but love here to pass.
We didn't catch that as quick as we did that continental African thing, did we?
Right.
Yeah, that one slipped through.
Yeah, we got it.
Yeah, when they slip through, sometimes you got to.
When you on a podcast, for everybody who's ever done a podcast, you sit around and you talk and you get real comfortable.
Sometimes too comfortable.
Too comfortable in front of these microphones.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to be wary of what you're saying. You have to be conscious. But that's just something that everybody has to do nowadays, right? You have to be very conscious of the things that you're saying.
Mindfulness is wonderful in general.
Facts.
What we got? Where we going?
Don't cry, bro. Don't cry. Please don't cry.
For you or for Argentina? What we talking about?
Where did that go?
Yeah.
I'm talking about this bag of tears.
What's in the bag of tears today, sir?
There was an employee that was fired for using an OK emoji as a response to her boss. If you don't know what the OK emoji is, that one right there. Okay.
Depending on what neighborhood you're from, you might have it confused with, like a neighborhood identifying or hand sign or something.
Or what college or university you went to.
Yeah,
you
that's true.
might get some Kappa love.
Yeah.
Red and white ones. Yeah, that's my Kappa style.
Check him
bar
out.
Today.
Check him out. A
manager of a bar tagged an employee in a team group who responded with the OK emoji. He asked her, has she confirmed the message, and then he told her to contact HR to plan her resignation. He was like, first off, he asked us like, do you think that's professional? Like, do you think that's okay? And next thing you know, he's like, just talk to HR. Like, you fired. Resign.
You know what happens when we combine poor nutrition with a bad family life with positions of authority? Stuff like this. People say whatever they want to say about, all these police officers that's abusing their power.
Right.
About all these
politicians.
executives, politicians and stuff like that that's abusing their power. Situations like this where abuses of power, then
so you say so you think it's an power abuse right here?
This is absolutely a power abuse.
So it's not that serious.
Listen, let's account for all things equally.
Right.
If sending this hand signal emoji is such a sin,
right,
then like what are we having proactive conversations about this person should be accounting also equally for I failed to inform this person and sending an OK hand emoji, or like what kind of training are we having? A training for the difference between how to have like a work texting conversations versus like personal texting conversations. I mean, it's not like she sent a nudie.
Right.
I'm just saying.
Facts.
Like, they probably didn't have those conversations up front, but not everybody is that type of person where they'll go at authority like I do. Maybe I go at authority a little bit too much sometimes, but I'm the type of person who would be like, well, we didn't talk about this beforehand, so what are we talking about, coach?
Exactly, and it's unfortunate because I don't like playing with people's money.
Yeah, when you're talking about playing with somebody's livelihood.
This young person's livelihood. I don't know if it was a male or a female. I think it was a female, according to the article.
Business. That's when it get personal.
That's exactly. And I mean, I don't know if it's unprofessional to use emoji. Number one, if you're chatting online, like this isn't a he called her and then in response she sent an OK emoji.
Yeah, you want to talk about what's not professional.
It's like you already have a group. You already have a chat group.
What should she have put O and K?
Right.
Is that unprofessional also?
Right.
Should she say all right? Should everything be capitalized?
Does it need to be?
Is this punctuation? Like, what are we talking about?
Does it need to be OK?
Is the line consistent?
Is it OKAY?
Is this only happening on Wednesdays?
Right.
How about casual Fridays? When casual Fridays show up, then can we use the OK emoji?
Right.
What are we talking about here, people?
And I guess my follow-up question is, where do we draw the line on what should be conducted in person and what can be conducted online. Like, is it unprofessional for him to like fire someone via group message as well?
I would say, see, so I don't like bullies. Hey, bro.
Right.
I'm the type of person, and I'm gonna tell you right now that if I'm standing in line,
We're anti-bully here.
yo, real talk. If you a bully, I got to be careful not to bully you.
Right.
I'm that type. Because if I see you, I'm standing in line. All I want to do is get my food. The
Right.
kid next to me standing in line. All he want to do is get food.
Right.
And then you roll up, you start smacking him up, running his pockets, and all the rest of that.
Right.
We got a problem right there.
Right.
Like, I'm coming at you right then and there because you're attempting to, sow seeds of intimidation. You're attempting to, cultivate an air of intimidation to send a message. So this type of person who's firing someone for something as small and as frivolous as an okay emoji is a freaking tyrant. And
Right.
like, I'm the type of person, like, if I was in that group, then my job would be in danger too.
Right.
That very moment. Because
Exactly.
we're not about to have all this foreplay over the situation.
Right.
Okay, either we're gonna go outside and we're gonna get busy, or you gonna walk it back and chill out.
Walk it back. Walk it back.
Absolutely.
I think there is a line between what's cool and what's not.
Yeah.
In especially work situations in chat groups.
Right.
Like you said, nudies aren't cool.
No, that.
I think
I guess it depends on what job you have, but
Right, it also depends on your job.
97% of jobs.
Most jobs
keep your
nudies are
clothes on.
cool. And so there is a line. Where is the line though? Where is the line? Like,
Yeah, if you ain't talking about that beforehand,
if you're not talking if you're not talking about work, I feel like there's the line. There also, like, personal business doesn't belong in the work group chat.
if you a manager, a CEO, a boss, any kind of boss, and you doing this kind of thing where on the back end you slamming your employees for something that y'all didn't discuss was not appropriate on the front end,
That's an HR job.
I want you to know I'll probably dump water on your head.
Yeah, you deserve to be dumped.
Yeah,
in
at
the
least.
water. Get in the water. Indeed. Let's take it to the future, man.
Back to the Future.
Let's take it to the future.
Marty.
We were talking about phones. We're talking about chatting. We're talking about technology in some ways. And we came across this information, this article, and it was mind-blowing. This is the Back to the Future.
Speak on it.
We're going back to the future.
Let's go. Let's travel.
So, did you know that selfies kill 5 times more people than shark attacks?
How many times more?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
First of all, big shout out to the Sharks and
Shark Week. When is Shark Week?
Let me just say this. Let me just say this right now.
What up, cuz?
The impact was it Spielberg who did Jaws. This is one of the things. Like, dear Mr. Spielberg, dear Mr. Spielberg, I don't know what it is that you've done to atone for what it is that you did to those alpha predators that are so important in our marine environment on the back end of what Jaws did, but Jaws created a type of shark hysteria. We shouldn't even be comparing this to sharks right now. It's great to have the bag. It's good for
Right.
us to go back to the future so we
Right.
can talk about how lethal selfies are. But this is just my love for the environment,
Right.
for all the animals. Just coming
Whales,
on
dolphins,
out.
and sharks. Why you didn't mention sharks though? You always say whales and
You
dolphins.
know what it
but
is?
You never
is
say
because
sharks.
Sharks, which are not even really fish, and we can get all into it, get mad nerdy with the marine stuff.
Mm.
Sharks don't have I love the sentience that whales and dolphins have.
Yeah,
you
for
know,
sure.
They're sentient.
They feel, for
You
sure.
know, they're just like, they got technology, they got culture.
Right.
They know they got names.
And with them,
Sharks ain't got names.
with sounds, man.
Yeah.
With sounds, they're
It's
so
incredible.
linked into sound.
Incredible. That's
Yeah.
why for our next logo, we got to make up a sweet whale or dolphin logo for Miva. You know what I'm saying? Because it's all about the sounds. Listen, y'all. Selfies killing 5 times more people than sharks.
Oh my God.
And you thought it was an innocent activity, didn't you?
Between October 2011 and November 2017, at least 259 people have died taking selfies.
Cue Michael Jackson. People like to live dangerous.
Compared to 50, in the same time there was 50 shark deaths. Men, which this might be surprising to some people, men make up 3/4 of those that have died. Of the 259 men, or 3/4 of it, and India holds the record for 159 deaths.
Hey, India. Stop it, fam.
Stop it.
Stop it.
It's not that serious.
Okay? Put your phone down. Check your vanity. Check your vanity again. Double check.
What I think most of it
Make it stop.
So the article went on to say that a lot of it is that the men are doing like very dangerous things, trying to get a selfie,
Trying to impress somebody.
There's been 10 people. There's been 10 people that have fell off cliffs
Alex is gonna love this selfie.
in Grand Canyon. There's been 10 people that fell off cliffs in the Grand Canyon for the same reason.
Now, may I say something?
Say something. Speak on it.
I have those memories. Okay, we talking about going back to the future.
Yep.
I have those memories of looking at those articles to see, oh man, somebody was doing parkour.
Right.
You know, somebody was, fell off of this, somebody fell off of that, all while taking a selfie. There's a certain website that's really good at putting these stories up when it happens. I'm not gonna say the name of the website because I ain't gonna send no checks. You better get hip. Pass the bag. We out here. And when I read those stories, it's like I never really think to quantify it, like totally. Like how fatal is this type of situation? Most of the time, it feels like an isolated incident.
Almost in 6 years, almost 300 people, man.
Yeah, that's
big.
That's unacceptable.
That's big. I mean, when you think about in India, most of them are Hindi, so they believe in, coming back.
It depends. They got a good amount of Islam and
Yeah,
too.
for sure.
But in general,
A lot of them are Hindi, and so we believe in samsara and returning. So, I mean, it might not be a big deal to them, but for me, man, death is like the end of this life at least. So,
hey, what do you think if you got to get reincarnated for that situation? What you think you're supposed to come back at? What's fair?
You come back as a cell phone.
I was thinking that.
What's the worst way to go? Selfie or sharks?
I mean, you don't got to be embarrassed about sharks.
Yeah.
But like, if you go via selfie, then like straight up, like a tragic death shouldn't be associated with something that we can just laugh at easily. Like
Right.
That, right.
Yeah.
Like that to me, like go ahead, shark, bite me, I'll bleed out. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, man, how long is it gonna take really? Right. A real
Right.
good bite. You know what I mean? It's gonna hit an artery. That's what we're talking about.
Right. And
If
then
a shark attack is gonna kill you, it's gonna hit an artery, and then it ain't even gonna be about the pain. It's gonna be about the life draining out of you quickly, something like that. Right. I'm just saying.
Right.
Give me the shark.
Facts.
I ain't going by no selfie, fam.
Nah.
No. Because I don't need nobody when they go to remember me snickering.
Oh man.
Straight up, man.
Oh man.
I just, I want to die with honor.
What's the proper selfie? What's the proper selfie etiquette? When are selfies not cool?
Proper selfie protocol. Well, first of all, put your clothes on.
Put your clothes on.
If you don't have actual foul that wakes people up in the morning running around, don't send anybody a photo of your cock. Ever. If you don't have what you call like a life where you're doing something other than sending selfies, why you sending selfies to somebody anyway? If they didn't request it, that's how I feel. Nah.
For selfies, this is like for like IG. Shouts to IG.
Shout out
We
to
are
IG.
Miva.
Well, there's things that that I'm still learning in my self-awareness. I'll go ahead and say that I'm admittedly behind on some things. So I have some ground to cover.
I think I'm a selfie boy. I like selfies.
When you do it.
I do it anytime I'm having a good time.
Okay.
Things that I want to share with people.
Okay.
Like right now, I take a selfie right now. If I wasn't live on
I
IG.
mean, that's kind of like our selfie right there.
This is our selfie. This is a selfie. Literally, it's
literally.
using the front-facing camera. So
I can dig it.
I mean, selfies it's the future. I mean, it's the now.
Unless someone explicitly that we've either explicitly talked about how sharing these like documentary moments is a pleasant part of our culture.
Right.
I'm not sending nobody my picture, really. I'm just not that.
Hit us up on Twitter. We are Miva. Hit us up on IG. Let us know when you think when selfies are cool, when selfies not cool. Hit us up. We need to know. We needs to know.
How can you tell if the bag is real, Black?
How can you tell if the bag is real? Set it on fire.
What do you do when they give you?
You gotta give them the lighter. Put the lighter to it.
Okay.
If it's real, that real stuff, you put the lighter to it. It's good.
Yeah, you a live one. You a real one. That's our thing.
We back.
Oh man.
Shout out to IG. Hit us up on Twitter. Hit us up on IG. We are Miva. Actually on Patreon. And today is gonna be the first pod where we have exclusive content for our Patreon subscribers.
Heyo, from now until
now
next
on,
time and every time after that.
Exclusive content just for the Patreon.
Mm-hmm.
But this is one of my favorite topics, and this is the bag it up beauty of the week.
Bag it up.
This young lady is a gift. It's a gift to society, a gift to life, a gift to humanity, and she's a Chinese woman.
Okay.
We're in China.
All right.
This young lady, she bungee jumps 300 meters just to deliver lunch to people.
How many meters?
300 meters.
Just in case you don't know, and you're a
She
place where you
straps-
don't know about meters. That's a lot of meters.
Her name's Wan Tiandi.
All right.
She works at Dream Ordovician Park
All
in
right.
Chongqing, and she has to deliver food to over 200 people who can't leave their post. They
Let's
can't
go,
leave their
Xiao Wan.
jobs.
Let's go, Xiao Wan.
Right. So the road down the mountain takes about 30 minutes, and the food will be cold by the time she gets there. And she's like, man, she's a sports lover.
All right.
She's a thrill seeker, I would say.
All right.
So instead of driving 30 minutes around the park, she's like, nah, I can get there in 3 minutes. I'm gonna strap this rope to my legs, I'm gonna strap this food to my waist, and I'm gonna jump off the side of this cliff to make sure these people get their food.
Y'all taking notes?
Is that a boss move? I feel like that's why she's the bag it up beauty of the week.
Whatever is a step above a boss move.
That amazing.
Yeah.
An amazing move.
That's boss game right there.
That's like next level.
That's boss game.
So that's customer service at its best. At its best. I mean, you can't think of better customer
5 stars, platinum rating, platinum with diamond, whatever is the highest. Like, if I'm gonna tell you right now,
Have you ever? Go ahead.
I don't even got to be hungry.
Right.
But if I find out that I'm gonna get somebody to bungee jump me my lunch, I might order 2 lunches.
Right.
That very moment.
Right.
You know.
And so all the employees that work at the bottom of the cliff are like super hyped, super excited, super thankful.
If lunch didn't taste better before.
And not only does she bungee jump it down, but that 30-minute drive to go back, she runs it back. She jogs it back.
Boss move.
Man. So I'm sure she jogs like an hour back.
Yeah.
And she does this every day.
Man, my goodness. You know her genetics got.
Do you bungee jump? You ever bungee jumped?
I have bungee jumped exactly 0 times in my life, sir.
Do black people bungee jump?
No comment. People formerly known as black are known to partake in all sorts of activities in spite of the popular myths and stereotypes, including swimming. I love swimming.
I love swimming as well.
Yeah, I've been
I
swimming.
mean, I don't love swimming, but I can swim.
No, like I love swimming.
Right.
Yeah.
But do you think we the minority or the majority? We're not gonna play up stereotypes here, but I just want to ask because
I mean, no, that's okay. Certain things are culturally relevant.
Yeah.
You know, certain things are
People
culturally
formerly known
relevant.
as black
questions.
don't necessarily bungee jump. It's too much. D.L. Hughley says too much like lynching for me. You gonna tie a rope around me? You gonna tie a rope around me and push me over a cliff?
Shout out to D.L. Hughley.
You gonna tie a rope around me and push me over a cliff? It's
So
too
check
much
this
like
out.
lynching for me.
Before I bungee jump, I would jump out of a plane. That'd be my preference.
All right.
And not even a tandem jump.
Why?
Like,
'Cause the rope?
it would be my preference to get my tandem jumps out of the way because I hear that that's required.
Yeah, you got to.
before you can jump solo.
Yeah.
I would rather jump out of a plane as many times as it takes for me to jump solo before I go bungee jumping once.
Interesting. Would I rather?
Go big or go home.
I think I would rather skydive also.
Yeah.
Before I tie a rope around my legs.
Yeah.
And jump.
I'm sure my
Sometimes they push you too.
I'm sure my chiropractor wouldn't be happy about bungee jumping.
No.
I've never heard a chiropractor say bungee jumping is a great idea.
I don't think it's a good idea.
And as somebody who has a massage therapy license and was in that practice for many years, an energy healer, energy person, and things like that, I'm just like, jumping out of a plane. I never heard a chiropractor say something negative about jumping out of a plane. Even though that impact, you got to know how to land, what's that. But hey.
You figured out.
Yeah.
You figured out. This is customer service at its finest. I mean, shout out to Ms. Wan Tiandi. And my question is, what's been like your best customer service experience?
Oh man, I'm happy that you asked that question because I feel like my best customer service experience happened recently. Man, in general, let me tell you something. I know this guy. He's from Milan, and he's the host at this restaurant in a place out here in Shenzhen called Coco Park. which is like, Sodom and Gomorrah after 6 p.m. But, in the daytime it's cool.
Make cocoa great again.
Make cocoa great again. Facts. This gentleman, he's a really fantastic host, and I just got to say that, like, the hospitality that he shows on a regular basis makes the food taste better. He got that, like, Italian flavor to him. Probably is about 45 years old or something like that. Pretty handsome dude, but not too handsome. Barrel-chested, gold chain wearing Northern Italian guy who,
nice.
Is just in general just like real friendly and not asking for too much out of life, but not asking for too little.
Right.
Working in a tropical place, chilling out. I'm thinking his partners own a restaurant, stuff like that.
Right.
So this is a place where it's like, I know that there have been times, like 50, that part of the reason that I go eat at this place is because, like, my man is just sincere with it. I've had problems. I text this guy. I could talk with him. Even if the answer isn't what I wanted to come back as, my man is just like, he's just super accommodating, just extra sincere about it. And he's always taking his time, So
nice.
That's how I get down. How about you? How about you?
For me, as an entertainer, that I work in restaurants and bars and clubs all the time.
Yes, sir.
I don't approach it from maybe the same angle as a customer.
All right.
It's because I'm like the hired gun as well.
Freelance.
But I appreciate when they treat me like a customer as well. Because
that's right.
I promote their business. I'm a face of their business when I'm providing entertainment. So if I have a good idea about the business, then it reflects in the environment that we create together.
All right.
So I'm always hype about, businesses that want to take care of me, take care of my wife when she comes around. And one particular place I play on Sundays, Mambo, they always take care of me. They always take care of my wife. Anything I need, they give it to me.
Nice.
So I love those guys, and they have great customer service.
Right on.
And they're always thinking about their customers. So
Right on.
Customer service is big, and it's something that we overlook and we don't think about all the time. But when somebody take care of you, and I appreciate tipping culture of the West too. I appreciate the American tipping culture. I wish that servers made more than minimum wage, so they didn't have to live based on that.
Sure.
I mean, they made at least minimum wage because they make less than that because they get tips, which is whoever figured that out, whoever made that law, needs water dumped on their head for sure. But
for those of you at home who don't know, because maybe you've never been to China, when we talk about these cultural differences, customer service is not really a thing over here. And when we say not really a thing over here, you typically have to go to an institution where they have this kind of culture ingrained inside of the business because most of the time it's just not there. And it makes the food taste different.
Yeah.
It makes the seat that you're sitting in feel different.
Right.
It makes the time that you're sharing in the space feel different. And not just because I say so. All you have to do is just ask around. This is one of them type of things where when you ask me that question, if you'd asked me what's the best service that I ever had, there's all types of jokes that I could have made. But I think that in the end, it just really boils down to people who are consistent, people who are personable.
Right.
And this is this is anything, when people are treating you as more than just a dollar sign.
right.
Right.
Yeah.
Which,
When they make you feel like you have value.
Absolutely.
Because we're all valuable. And we're all loved. And we all have something to share. And that's my favorite thing about, pass the bag. Because it's all about sharing the bag.
Got to share that bag.
Got to share the bag.
And sharing is caring. It's absolutely wonderful to have our humanity acknowledged, honored, fortified, protected, respected.
Exactly.
You dig?
So if you are on our Patreon, then we're going to talk. We have some great topics coming up. Like talking about a horrifying app that undresses a photo of any woman with a click. What? A French town that's offering...
Hold on. With a click, not with a clit.
No, with a click.
Just in case.
You got to watch your language. You can use both of the C words today.
Well, I mean, but...
iTunes is going to kill us.
Word? A cock is an animal.
Yeah, but not in the context that you used it.
Nah, that's why I did that thing. I talked about the farm animals.
Right.
Right? So
iTunes gonna kill us. They gonna kill us. Frenchtown is offering free Viagra
F
to
them then.
Frenchtown is offering free Viagra to boost the local birth rate. And we're gonna talk about how a woman found a hidden camera in a Shenzhen Uniqlo changing room.
First of all,
so
all countries.
Please subscribe to us on Patreon at We Are Miva. Check us out on Twitter at We Are Miva. Check us out on IG at We Are Miva. Check us out on YouTube. And this new video, got a new studio. You know, we going to the next level. All at We Are Miva.
Y'all checking us out, and we checking you out.
So if you wanna, it's very important. It's super important. It's super important. It's not enough just to get the bag.
I'm telling you, you gotta keep that bag.
If you want to secure the bag,
you gotta share the bag.
Now kindly pass the bag.